This video is sponsored by Rocket Money. More about them later. It's easy to believe that someone making six figures or multiple six figures a year is or will eventually be wealthy. On the surface, they could look the part. The big home, the brand new luxury car, the recent trip to the Greek islands. However, stats tell a very different story. According to a Lending Club survey, roughly 45% of those making more than $100,000 say they live paycheck to paycheck. 47% of those making between $150,000 and $200,000 a year, and 28% of those making over $200,000. If you're making over $200,000 a year and living paycheck to paycheck, that raises some eyebrows. How could this be? Why are these high-income earners not wealthy? Worse, why are they struggling? So let's delve into some of the reasons why this may be. More specifically, 10 reasons why so many high earners are not wealthy. And hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, where we learn to grow our wealth slow and steady. The number one reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. This really is a primary reason why so many people with great jobs and great income are still stuck in the rat race. They're failing to convert their high income into assets. Assets that either produce additional income or grow their net worth. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and the middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. Examples of assets could be index funds that appreciate, real estate properties that we can rent out, and businesses that generate profit. The issue is that instead of converting their hard-earned income into assets, many high-income earners spend on depreciating luxury cars, expensive homes, and fancy toys. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, gives a great illustration of this by drawing out the cash flow pattern of a person who is stuck in this loop, spending all their income in liabilities. Let's say you're a high-income earner, so you have a great job that provides great income. Thus, you have money to spend beyond your basic needs. But instead of buying assets that could grow your wealth, you spend it on liabilities. Mortgage on a big home, car loan on a brand new car, and school loan from your expensive college degree. And as your wages increase, your expenses increase as well because you're continually buying more liabilities to elevate your lifestyle. You cannot build wealth this way, and so many high earners fall into this trap. Alright, so what is one of the best ways to convert our income to assets? Well, it all starts with knowing how we're doing with our money and having the mechanism to control our spending, which is the reason why I'm excited to introduce you to today's video sponsor, Rocket Money. In case you haven't heard, Mint, the budgeting app, is shutting down. So if you've been on the market for a new budgeting app like me, I highly recommend you check out Rocket Money. What is really cool about Rocket Money is that while Mint was just a budgeting app, Rocket Money does more. It is actually an all-in-one finance platform. For one, Rocket Money has this really cool feature: subscription cancellation. Not only does the app show all my subscriptions in one place, if I see something I don't like, I can cancel it with a tap. I never have to get on the phone with a customer service representative, which I honestly don't like doing. Rocket Money will even try to give me a refund for the last couple months of wasted money. And its budgeting function is quite robust. The app automatically monitors my spending by category. I can set up custom budgets and get notifications when I exceed them. And the app analyzes my spending habits to create a custom budget that works with my lifestyle and income. It also shows me all my account's upcoming charges in one place, so I'm not needing to log into multiple accounts to see this information. And in addition to basic budgeting, Rocket Money allows me to track my net worth when I link all my accounts in 401k. So I get a complete picture of where my finances stand at all times. And because they're all linked, the value of my investments and assets, remaining balance, all my debt are updated real time. If you want to make real progress with your finances, you need the ability to see your net worth in real time. So if you've been debating what budgeting app to use now that Mint is going away, I recommend you try out Rocket Money. It's free to start and you can unlock more features with premium. Check out Rocket Money by going to rocketmoney.com/takeHim or click the link in the video description below. Alright, with that said, let's get back to the video. The number two reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. Many are still paying off their student debt. High income doesn't just fall in our laps. Companies are willing to pay you high income because you're providing a certain value, most often value that is earned through high quality education. Take a look at doctors and other medical field professionals. Doctors are paid high income because they're providing essential services to patients. However, in order to become a doctor, one must not only go through 4 years of undergrad, but 4 additional years of medical school and medical residency that ranges from 4 to sometimes 7 years. And all this education is quite expensive. According to NerdWallet, the average medical school graduate owes over $200,000 in medical school debt by the time they graduate. Pharmacy school graduates, close to $180,000. Law school graduates, $130,000. Business school graduates, $66,000. And hear this: dental school graduates, over $300,000. I mean, imagine starting out your career with these ridiculous amounts of student debt. And you haven't even started your retirement account, bought a home, or even had kids yet. I know this pressure way too well because when I graduated from business school over a decade ago, my wife and I were saddled with $105,000 of combined student loans that we had to deal with. Thankfully, we went buck wild and paid it off in 3.5 years, but it is something we would never want to repeat again if we can help it. The number 3 reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. Not all, but many high earners are highly concentrated around major metro areas, aka high cost of living areas. Think of big cities like New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Boston. And most often this is because these are where many opportunities are. If you want to work in tech, you likely need to move to San Francisco. If you want to work in finance, it's really hard to avoid New York City. And if you want to work in film and video production, no better place than Los Angeles. However, there is a cost to living in these areas. It generally takes a lot more money to support a comfortable lifestyle in San Francisco compared to a lower cost of living area. For example, according to data from Rent Cafe, the typical living cost in San Francisco is 79% higher than the national average. That's right, it costs almost 2 times more to live in San Francisco than anywhere else in the US. Utility bills are 32% higher than the rest of the country. Food costs are 31% higher, and transportation costs are 38% higher. So if you're a high income earner, think hard about where you want to live. If your high income is directly tied to your location, it might be hard to relocate. However, if there's some flexibility, you can really do wonders to your savings rate just by willing to relocate to a lower cost of living area. Alright, moving on. In the theme of high cost of living area, the number 4 reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. Many are saddled with huge home mortgages. Staying with the San Francisco example, according to the latest Redfin report, the median home price in San Francisco is about $1.3 million. And I'm not talking about a mansion with 12 rooms. No, this is an ordinary home with 2 to maybe 4 bedrooms if you're lucky. Do you know what a monthly mortgage on a $1.3 million home would be? For simplicity, let's just say you're able to put down $300,000 as down payment, so you'll need to finance $1 million. The monthly payment on a $1 million loan, 30 years fixed at 8%, is about $7,300. And we're not even counting all the additional housing costs, utility, property tax, home insurance. These costs could make your monthly housing costs close to $10,000. When you need to pay close to $10,000 in housing each month, as you can imagine, it's really hard to build wealth. Even if you're making a good salary of over $200,000 or $300,000 a year, more than or close to half of your salary is going to housing alone. Structurally, it's really hard to build wealth when you have a really high mortgage. You can't fund your retirement account. You don't have extra money to invest, and you can't fund your kid's college fund. Alright, you might be saying, apart from living in a high cost of living area, why in the world would someone feel the need to buy $1 million home or a multi-million dollar home? Which leads to the next reason. The number 5 reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. Many struggle with the pressure to look the part. Many high-income earners operate within a culture that oftentimes encourages and reinforces the pressure to look successful. When someone has a title of an executive or a partner in their name, there's a subconscious expectation that this individual looks and lives a certain way. Drive a fancy car, wear an expensive watch, and have access to pricey country clubs. And some jobs actually require this. If you're a partner at a consulting firm, part of your job is to go out and drum up new business, meeting with other executives, most often expensive restaurants or exclusive country clubs. And because you're representing your firm, you have to present yourself in the best way possible. The finest suits and the high-end accessories, even living in ritzy neighborhoods where the customers are. And when you do this long enough, you're conditioned to believe that the high consumption lifestyle, enabled through high income, are expected and necessary. It's a snowball that feeds on itself. In the theme of luxury items, let's move on to the next reason. The number 6 reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. Many are prime targets for luxury marketing. Luxury brand marketers are constantly on the lookout for ideal buyers. Who's going to spend money on their expensive luxury products? Who has a deep enough pocket as well as the motivation? And who better than high income earners, living in high cost of living areas who want to look wealthy and successful? They're essentially gold mines for these high-end retailers, particularly those that sell luxury brands. Not only are there way more high-income individuals than ultra-wealthy, they have enough money to afford their high-end products. So it's not a surprise that luxury brands like Louis Vuitton use popular celebrities and athletes to position their brand, promote its appeal, and communicate a message about status, something that high-income earners so desire to have. Now, this is not to say that we should never buy high-end brands if we want them and enjoy them. The key is to recognize the marketing game that many of these companies are playing. Buy because you want to and you like them, but not primarily for the status it promises to provide. The number 7 reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. In the line of being prime targets of luxury companies, many are prime targets for financial institutions, banks, investment firms, insurance companies. Some even went as far as making high-income earners the core focus of their business. Now, if the institution is providing valuable services to these high earners, then that's not a problem. We all need banks and investment firms. The issue is when these institutions overly market and sell financial products that are not in the best interest of these high earners, most often overly complex solutions to simple money problems. They're told they need to meet with a financial advisor in order to build the perfect portfolio that will outperform the market. They're told they should hand over their money to a professional investment manager if they want any chance of mitigating market risk. They're told they need financial products like variable annuities, whole life insurance, and reverse mortgage. Products that make these financial institutions a whole lot of money, but only at the expense of the buyer. When someone is going so out of their way to market something, most often it isn't because they're looking out for your best interest. It's because they're trying to sell you something. It's because they're trying to maximize bottom line profit. Just like there are good restaurants and bad restaurants, there are good financial products and bad financial products. Be wary and always ask questions. And most importantly, don't just blindly listen to some random guy on YouTube just because he has the most amazing hair on the internet. The number 8 reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. Because of their high income, many high earners are caught in the highest tax bracket, thus paying a good chunk of their income in taxes. In America, we have what is commonly called a progressive tax system. A progressive tax involves a tax rate that increases or progresses as taxable income increases. It imposes a lower tax rate on low income earners and higher tax rate on those with higher income. Think of it like a set of stairs. A portion of your income is left at each step and taxed at the flat rate tied to that tax bracket. If your income exceeds the threshold of one stair, that amount will progress to the next stair and be taxed at the next highest rate, which currently tops out at 37%. If you're a single filer, you're in the 37% tax bracket if you're making $580,000 or more in income. If you're married filing jointly, you're in the 37 tax bracket if you're making $694,000 or more in income. Now, no one wants to pay 37% of their income in taxes, or 35%, or even 24%. However, if you're a high income earner living in a high cost of living area with a big mortgage and big lifestyle, you might need to recognize that much income. Now, there are a lot of ways to reduce your tax burden by maximizing retirement accounts, deferring income, and taking advantage of many other tax reducing strategies. HSA, saving for college, investing in home energy efficiency. However, none of these can be done if you're stuck in a high expensive lifestyle, which leads to the next reason. The number 9 reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. Why do some high earners fail to take advantage of tax reduction strategies? It's because many are already living an expensive lifestyle, and like anything in life, once you're headed in one direction, it's really hard to change course. Many high earners just don't know how to unwind their expensive lifestyle. Most often, their expensive lifestyle is deeply ingrained, with significant financial commitments such as a mortgage on a luxurious property, high-end vehicles, and other opulent possessions. Changing their lifestyle requires sacrifice and the possibility of downsizing, which can be emotionally and socially taxing. Additionally, high earners may be accustomed to the status and the social recognition that their lavish spending provides, making it difficult to shift to a more modest lifestyle that may not garner the same attention or admiration, which leads to the next reason. The number 10 reason why so many high earners are not wealthy. And I feel like this is one of the biggest reasons. Many high earners primarily socialize only with other high income individuals. Individuals who aspire similar social status, high-end toys, and expensive lifestyles. If you have friends with similar expensive spending habits, there's naturally peer pressure and societal expectations within your social circle. Pressure that perpetuates a desire to maintain a high spending lifestyle. If you hang out with chickens, you're going to cluck. If you hang out with eagles, you're going to fly. So if adopting a more frugal approach to life can lead to losing social standing, can you live with that consequence? Many can't, and thus it's really hard to change our social circle. We all get accustomed to a certain way of socializing, lifestyle habits, and friends. However, if you want to make change and you notice that the social circle that you're in does not represent who you want to be in the future, you have to be willing to make that change. Thank you guys for watching. In the line of high-income individuals, if you'd like to learn more about the biggest financial mistakes high-income individuals make, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.